All right. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm running late this morning. Um, Kind of interesting. I actually have a presentation I have to give at right after 1 o'clock, and just finished my slides for that. So not that I've ever not had a presentation ready well in advance. Interesting conversation we're gonna have this afternoon. So our company, our Senate leadership, we have a weekly meeting. We have daily meetings also, but quick 15-minute huddles. But on Wednesday, we do a weekly meeting, discuss some bigger topics. And one of the topics on the board today is to talk about teams. And, what we're seeing is too many messages. And it's kind of, it's a hard part about dealing with a good problem. So, been a lot of places where there's been hardly any communication, and that's definitely not a problem at the company I work with now. So we're trying to figure out how to handle it a little bit better. How do we make it so that we don't have to actually follow 80 different channels, and joke about that. It's probably pretty close to how many channels we have for a company of 30 full-time people. One, it's just we're doing so much work. Two, it's just a little bit spread out. So interesting. So I mean, sure enough, if anyone's done anything as far as how to manage your teams or your Slack, I'd love some suggestions for that. But let's go ahead and move on, because like I said, I don't know. I still need to figure out what time I'm going to be streaming these things. This is getting kind of interesting. Because I picked this 11:30 to 1 because it was my lunchtime, and it seemed to work well. I knew there would be some days. I don't know, since I started this last week, it seems like every day I've got something I've got to pretty much kick off right at 1 o'clock. That will definitely be the case today. I think tomorrow actually will be better, and I know Friday's gonna be better. Yeah, tomorrow will be better, and Friday will be better, so I won't be rushing off right after this. All right, so why do I have the EF Core page open up? Well, so I was thinking about this some more yesterday. I kind of got into a stumbling block yesterday with how to make this work. So we've got the actual code written. So if we we go in here and we look at the sample console. Actually, if we look at code of the sample console. So I mean, sure enough, I can now generate. I uncomment that. I had comment for a reason, but so we now have the code to generate the gremlin to be able to add an item. But now I actually want to tie this into basically a dot save add or dot add action, right? And so yesterday I was getting a little bit stuck, and I mean, doing a little bit of research last night, and I was like, oh, okay, well, how would I add this to like my vertex class? So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have this vertex, so I want to have like a dot save, right? And I wasn't thinking this through. I mean, the problem with this is I would have to pass in the type, and I don't want to do that, right? I mean, yeah, that would work. And I was like, oh, I want something better. And the funny thing is I was kind of thinking of any framework, but I wasn't thinking straight through any framework. And last night I was doing some searching on the web. I was like, well, how can an abstract class get the properties of a derived class? And the answer is you can't. Not really. I mean, there are some things you could do. You could you no matter what you do, there's some hacks you could do, but it's still not doing what I was really looking. And now I was really tired last night, so I didn't get too far with it last night. Funny thing with that, I don't sleep. I generally don't sleep much. And I actually, yesterday was one of those days where I was in bed at 11, which is early for me. Funny thing is, I woke up this morning, I felt tired, more tired than I normally do. But at any rate, sleeping was good, right? Taking a break from things is a good thing because, and why I say that is, woke up this morning and I realized, I'm overthinking this, right? I was in this whole thought of, okay, how do I handle this? No, actually, you can use reflection. The problem is I would have to, good comment, Sean, but the problem with using reflection is because it's actually, if you look, that's what I'm using, right? I mean, my code is already using reflection because that's how I'm getting the attributes within the class. The problem is the abstract class isn't actually able to abstract the derived ones. I saw a hack on Slack Overflow basically was reading into the assembly and then going deeper in that, but that's definitely not. So at any rate, what I'm doing is, this morning I woke up and I realized, oh, what I really am looking for is something similar to what EF Core does, right? So like if you look at like their getting started article, right? So they're creating those contexts, and that's basically what I need to do. I need to create like a context. Now I'm not going to do the full blown context like in the framework does because I want a life. I definitely one person could not rewrite any framework, and I don't really even want to do because I thought about this morning. I was like, well, what about doing like an extension to any framework? And I really don't want to even go to that extent. And the biggest reason is some of the things, and sure enough, actually they did handle some of my problems, but the biggest is, it's a no schema. You're not creating your schema. They actually do handle that for a SQL database, for a SQL API within Cosmos, and do a pretty decent job. But at any rate, so I want to kind of riff off this idea of the context, right? We'll have you create a context, and just like in here, so here you go. We're creating that context, and you have like this DB set. So basically, what I wanted to do, and I just because I ended up spending my whole morning prepping for a presentation that I'll be doing in an hour and a half. I haven't really had a chance to look any more at this. So what I want to look at was how exactly do this. So if we look at the source code in here, and what I want to look at, and I gotta admit, I haven't really looked at their code very much. I'll look at EF4. So there's context. I want to look at DB set first. I want to see what exactly is DB set. Oh, and the other thing I only going to work on, at least for this first version, I'm not going to support link. I was thinking about this morning, at least for what I want to get done right now. Because like I said, I really just want an easier way to do my saves. It's really what I'm trying to solve. Actually, for querying, I think I'll do it more via a Fluent extension, the Gremlin or Gremlin. All right, I think that would make sense. So at any rate, what are they doing here? So they've got their class, doing an enum. So I'm just kind of quickly going through here, trying to figure out what all they're doing. Value tab. Because all right, so sure enough, you create. So DB set is with, okay, yeah, so in your context, actually, I probably should be looking at DB context. So within their context, so you have, you want to be able to handle the initialization, right? So it should be able to, in there, we can provide the connection information. That would be good. Okay, so then they have a database facade, representing the database. Change tracker. There's a lot more I really want to go into. Again, I'm trying to keep this kind of simpler. There's a lot. How much code is in this thing? Just 1,700 lines of code. All right. But this will give me a good enough start. That's so within here, I'm now going to create. We're going to add our class, and we're going to call this a graph context. So I won't steal completely from from the Framework core team, which I guess is my time. And sure enough, you see the logo for tech leaders, but up on the top, I've got my user groups standing up. I should do a quick promo. So next week, so Thursday, 21st, I'm going to have Jeremy Lickness, and I'm forgetting the name of the other person joining us from the Andy Framework team. So, if you look at Meetup, should bring this up real quick. Sure enough, we will have, we're going to be talking about the future of Andy Framework, past and future. And this is Jeremy Lickness, and then author Vickers, who's been there for 12 years at Microsoft, and is currently one of the engineers on the Indian Framework team. So definitely hope you can join us. Right? I mean, this is open to anyone, everyone. It is the Louisville.net meetup, but anyone's welcome. We currently have 56 people signed up for it. So I hope others join in, right? Technically, I have a limit of 100, but I told the Inner Framework team, if we get more than 100 people sign up, I'll I'll up my subscription for this month for Zoom, and we'll get more in. So, all right. Anyway, back to what I was working on. So I'm gonna call this graph context, just so thanks, Sean. Yeah. Of course, Sean thinks it's a great group. He spoke there last month. Actually, did an awesome job. I really like that talk. So that's Sean Whitesell who's there, and I hope you don't mind me spreading your name, but he does a talk about microservices, and more importantly, the wrong ways to do microservices, and make sure you're do them right, and you don't skimp, right? You don't cheat. So yeah, I didn't think Sean would mind. All right, so I'm gonna create this graph context, and part of why I'm doing this is so anyone who picks this up realizes that while we took some ideas from Andy Framework, it is not Andy Framework, and it is not it is not even trying to be that. So, all right, this is gonna be a public class, at least for now. I mean, it's gonna be public matter. I don't think we need other attributes at the moment. And I think what we'll want, I'll look at what they did. They have a dictionary of, where is DB set? That's what I want to see. This DB set is one thing, right? Yeah. Oh, no. You're adding DB set. Never mind. No, because you're, okay. Right, because you're adding that in there. Okay. Well, here's how I'm going to do this. So I am going to do this a little bit differently. So we'll have this graph context, and sure enough, we will want properties we're going to need. You look up docs. Sure, I have this straight in my head. Cosmos documentation, Gremlin. Tutorials. Overview. Oh, quick starts. That's what I'm looking for. .NET. And so sure enough, you need to pass in. You're passing in the URL, the endpoint, the primary key, port. Okay. So these are what you copy that. Copy that in there. Actually, I did that, but that's a little bit different. want to use as regular properties. I don't know, at least for right now. So we're going to have public string point URL. Actually, there we go. Endpoint. I was just noticing the chat again, talking about plugs. So as I was talking about Sean, so Sean actually runs the Tulsa user group. That's another great group to, now I'm thinking about it, might as well keep on plugging other things. No, I'm a member in there somewhere. Yeah. Well, this is the whole association, but sure enough, so on the 26th, he's got Scott Hunter coming in, which will be great because that'll be right after build, so that'll be able to talk some more. I will say, actually, at Louisville, we're going to have Scott also. Waiting for him to confirm a date. I'm allowing him to be a little more flexible because he's a good, busy guy. All right. We're going to have that. We're going to have yeah. Just trying to remember something here. And I apologize for the Teams pop-ups. Actually, there's a lot of conversation going on right now. At least mark myself as Teams is being funny with me right now. Come on. There we go. Do not start. There, I won't get the pop-ups. What I am going to need to do is just see off to corner of my eye. All right. So I was going to go in here. I was going to just check something here. Go into Cosmos. Copalooza one, which is what we've been using as this brand new database. I'm just testing at the moment. Oh, actually, what I want to do is I want to do this off screen. I don't want you to actually see my keys. I want to see something. Go ahead and click the right keys. All right. So endpoint will have primary key, and I'm really debating this. I'm gonna keep this like this, but I need to secure this a little bit better than just making this publicly open. But we'll refactor that. These are double pressing. What's going on there? All right, so sure enough, I add a 2 here. Need to handle off key better. Right? Because really, we shouldn't. I mean, we shouldn't allow you to pass in a key and then anyone can then go grab that. I grant you, I mean, no one will be able to see it, but we don't want that to happen. And we will we'll default the port to 443 because most likely that's what it's going to be. All right. Actually, that says container, but that's not really a good name. Really, this should be, because like if you look at the Internet Explorer, that is called a graph. Let's be consistent with you create a new database, you create a new, so we'll call this that would be more consistent. Even though it is a container, and that's actually what the documentation says. But let's be more consistent with where. All right, so we're gonna have those, and then we're gonna have a graph context, and we'll take in endpoint. Better to be context consistent. I like. Okay, yes, cool. Thank you for the agreement there. I appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna URI endpoint URL string of primary key string of database string of graph. We can set all these right away. Have port. And then we'll just pass this. Primary key equals primary key. Database is database. Yeah, it's funny. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and talking about how he's been streaming but not enough, and wants to do some more streaming. And he was talking about how it's kind of weird talking to himself, on here, you're having a conversation. There's a chat window, but of course not everyone's chatting. But it's still even not the same thing. And it's funny. I was like, well, I spend a lot of my time when I'm sitting here coding, I'm talking to myself anyway. So I was virtual rubber ducky, exactly. I was so I was kind of like, my family now, they can't figure out if I'm streaming or if I'm actually just doing normal work, because I'm always talking to myself. I do find it helps me a lot. And it's nice. I work from home now. I mean, of course, most everyone's working from home now, but it's I've been working from home for the last several years, and I was also talking to myself when I worked in the office, and that was a little bit odd sometimes. People thought sometimes I think people thought maybe I had type of mental something. I was like, nah, it just helps me process my work. I just make sure I kind of talk at this level, obviously, keep it a little bit lower. All right, so we're going to when I need to correct the answers, I ask myself, yeah, that is the thing. I have had arguments with myself. It's, of course, I used to joke at one of the jobs I had when I was working with HP. For a long time, I was the I was project manager. I was the developer. Sometimes I was also the business analyst because I didn't have a dedicated analyst assigned to me. And I would joke. I was like, yeah, the developer was arguing with the business analyst. And I told someone one day, and they were like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Well, I did my own analysis, and now I'm actually doing development. I'm not agreeing with what I did in analysis. So I'm arguing with myself about whether the analysis was correct or not." All right. So we'll have that. And then now what do we want? So then I think we do want something similar to a DB set, like they do in here. So can be used to query instances, because I mean, because this is really say changes. No, you're actually doing okay. I'm trying to think where you save changes in your framework. Okay, you actually do it against that. That's where this gets a context has sets, and basically it knows what it's doing. What is it doing when you do an add? Might help me. You know what? This is a sucky way to look at code. Let's just Studio go in here. Own repository. This location. What I'm going to do. Folder. All right, I should take a moment. Phone. There we go. Now we've cloned that. Yeah. Okay. One of the nice things about Visual Studio is that, I mean, it's real easy to keep these set. But it, you know, I didn't know it would do that. That's kind of interesting. Oh, it's closing my windows. I didn't know. Yeah, so basically, I open up a project that is dependent on on the components I don't have installed in Visual Studio, and it's kind of neat. So Visual Studio said, "Hey, need that? Let me go get it for you." That's neat. I didn't know that it would do that. So, this is my take a couple minutes. So, just wondering out there. So, I'm off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of anything that any conversations. Well, I mean, so again, let's talk about what I was talking about. Oh, I am noticing my stream is a little bit affected by Colin's package here. Well, it's downloaded. Oh, it's creating a restore point. That's why. So, like I said, here in an hour, I'm gonna be having a conversation with the leaders of my team about how to better handle Teams communication. Just noticing I am definitely spinning right now. Okay, I don't know how much is getting caught up on here. I'm looking at my screen. I do have running here. I see it's a little bit behind. I apologize for that. Apparently, it was creating a Windows restore point. I think that kind of screwed up my stream here for a moment. At any rate, while we're waiting for this, so like I said, I'm getting ready to talk about Teams management and talking about Microsoft Teams management. I'm curious. I mean, anyone else have any issues where, like, in Teams or in Slack, where handling too much conversation. Anyone got any ideas of what they're doing to make that better? I mean, I could say, we were looking at some things, and I want to be careful what not that this is really secret in here. Was good sharing. So here's my slide deck. Not very pretty looking. But one of the things that I did point out here is, or someone pointed out, some things he's doing, right? And these are definitely some good points in here for managing your team. Your stuff. Oh, do not recover that one. We do want to recover that one. So, sorry, I know I'm trying to show something, but there we go. No, I mean, anyone to chat? I mean, anything you're doing to maybe better handle how teams get managed? And again, Microsoft Teams or Slack. Love to hear some other opinions. But like I say, this was something someone was definitely pointing out. We also talked about. Actually, I do like the first suggestion I got was just delete everything and start over. I really did like that, and so much so. I mean, that's how I'm gonna start off my thoughts and suggestions. Right. Thought it was a good way to start off. And note, CEO will be in this, right? So I'll be, right there in front of the CEO and say, "Hey, here's one suggestion. I think it's not too bad of an idea." But again, it's a joke. But there are some other points and something I don't want to show in here, but on the stream. But talking about also understanding what the different channels mean and defining. Well, rules is not exactly what way I want to put. Guidelines, probably a better way of saying, because rules make it sound too authoritarian. That's not definitely the kind of company we are. Well, if you have any thoughts, let me know. Don doesn't have any advice, but sure enough, tomorrow, because we'll have this conversation. Share tomorrow, what comes out of it. All right, so now back to what we were working on. So that's what we've got. Now all my windows are a little bit messed up. Just going to close on. I have way too many Visual Studios open up, more than I had open up. Tell me the install is done. That. All right, here we go. Here's at least a project I was trying to look at. Did not load this. Load solution. Let's open this folder. There we go. And wow, there's a bunch of stuff in here. I guess we'll just open up all. That's not work. Unable to locate the .NET 4 SDK. Alt. Wonderful. Well, this is working really well. Let's just do it this way. Because still would be better. I'm not going to install the SDK in the middle of a stream. So many chances I'll take within while I'm live on Twitch. Let's go into my repo. Microsoft. I definitely should put a folder deeper, but let's source for and context is what I'm trying to look at. Not that one. And let's just open that code. This will still be easier to look at. not as easy, and I don't use Visual Code very much. Not for code. So some things I'm just not very. But yeah, that option. Those are not the same options. Oh, I see you got. Oh, my cat bot kind of screwed up here. Don, what were you trying to link to? Oh, okay. New CVE update. Cool. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of changes coming out. Where are we? What, on preview 2 at least of .NET 5? Sean, send it to me in Skype. Send me the link and then I'll post it in here. So, all right. We're still not going to be very easy to find the code. Oh, let's do this. I know what I can. Again, go to a tool I'm more used to. File. I really do. I do. You know what? Let's do this. We can. Number one, okay, Sean got timed out. Untimed Sean out. Let's do that. And let's just make Sean a moderator. I trust Sean. All right, Sean, you should be able to create that link now because you're now a moderator. I do. I need to fool around more with my bots. I'm using Nutbot, which is nice. I was mentioning yesterday. Probably over the weekend, I'm gonna switch over to using Stream Elements to do a lot of this stuff. So actually, I've got some new designs coming up. So once those are ready, I'm gonna put them in. I'm gonna use Stream Elements, which at that point I'm gonna probably go off of Night. And again, nothing against Nightbot, but Stream Elements has it there too. Yep, Sean, you're now a moderator. Of course, now I'm sort of thinking, what have I done? If core. There we go. Now I have my tool set I'm more used to. What did I start this whole thing? Oh, I want to look at when we add entity. This is what I want to look at what they're. So they're adding that entity. So they're adding a T entity. Cool, that's just curious looking at the. Okay, fixing up a denial of service vulnerability. That's definitely yeah. You want that, right? That's definitely something you want. Cool. Yeah, that's good to know. All right. So in here, so when you add an T entity, we'll look that up here in a minute. T entity. Okay, so you're adding that. It calls this check disposed, and then we set entity state. There goes off voice mod again. You all don't hear it, but I hear it. It's in my headphones. Sitting over on the other side of my table. Sure enough, I do blame Sean for all that. Started screwing up yesterday, and the night before I was actually Sean's getting ready to do some streaming. And I was helping him set some things up, and I think I messed some of my settings up. There's a voice mod again. Yeah, Sean. Well, I didn't blame you by name yesterday, but I was like, yeah, I was helping someone yesterday, and might have accidentally screwed up something in OBS. For something just all of a sudden sets off one of my sound effects, which is funny. I mean, you know, it's a good sound effect. But all right. So when they add, they're doing the set entity state. And again, I'm not necessarily doing everything they're doing. I'm just looking to see what they're doing. Felt the evil eye on you. All right. So, all right. So I see what, okay, I kind of got an idea what they're doing. What are they doing? I'm just curious. When I call save changes, all this to accept all changes, which of course, I mean, this is going to be obviously a lot different. I'm just looking at what they're, when I'm curious, okay, when they, okay, oh, that's right. Because when you're, okay, now I got it in my head. And that's why I look at this, that's why looking at this code is helping me out. I was trying to think, how are they knowing what to do when? It's because changes go into the DB set. DB set knows what got added to it, or if I got updated to it, right? Because when you do an update, you, let's see here. When you do an update, yeah, but the objects, because it retrieved it in there. Okay. Now I'm getting this more in my head of what's. I mean, I use any firmware, but it doesn't mean that I remember everything that's going on under the covers. All right, so that's how do we want to do this then? We were creating our thing. Actually, I don't have a project. We'll go here. Solution we were working on. This, I don't know why this is not given this setting. In my which my graph context, that's one. Oh, it didn't save those properties I already created. That's interesting. It asked me if I want to restore it. It restored creating the file, but not settings. Weird. All right, so we'll just create those again real quick. We're going to have a public URI public string. No, I'm going to call this authorization. Yeah, that's about right. So we have those. Then we need, oh, it's not a string, it's an int of our port. And then we're going to have our database. And finally, we're going to have our graph. Okay. So we'll have all those, and then so we're going to default this to 443. Honestly, I don't know when you. Oh, I think if you do it, I was trying to think when it wouldn't be 443. Maybe I think the local simulator is on. I know it is. It's thousands of. All right, so we've got those. We're going to have a public URI endpoint ring of the authentication key. Am I correct in saying I have to do this? I don't think this is going to work that way. Let's see something. That's what I thought. I didn't think you could do it. Actually, that would make sense, but anyways. Okay. So we'll have those, and then we'll set those. I mean, this is just real fun. I'm redoing code I already did, but apparently I did not save my file. Okay, and then I want to add this need to better handle the authorization key. Because I really don't want just a string that could be maybe, well, I do want to, well, maybe it's as simple as just making this settable. That might just do it. But eventually I want to, eventually, and I'm definitely not going to do it today. But eventually I want that to, at least want the option to be able to grab that from key vault, right? So that's really the better way of doing that. That way your developers don't have your production right in the. More importantly, not a matter of the developers; it's a matter of the source, the repository, not having the key saved in there. Right? That's what you don't. All right. Now, this time I've definitely saved this. Now I think what I want, save change. Typically, the query class derives from DB context and contains DB set properties. The end of the model. That all makes sense. Now, of course, files. File. And here's in my head I'm thinking, wow, this is gonna be really exciting because I'm really just kind of in the trying to figure some things out phase. But file there. But, I mean, this is actually a perfect example. A lot of people. I don't know if I have any newer developers, watching right now or watching later on. One of the things a lot of people think, wow, this is gonna be so exciting, just writing things all the time, just making really cool things all the time. And the honest truth is, a lot of time it's doing this kind of stuff, just kind of piddling around trying to figure out how to make things work, right? And and I don't say that just because I don't consider myself an expert. I've just been doing it a long time. But the point being is, it's not a matter of being new, old, or anything. You not a lot of time writing stuff. But then other days, there are days where you're going to write code all day long throughout the whole day, and these days where you just write so much code, it's crazy. Other days, you might write 5 lines of code, and that was a very productive day. I'm going to remember that and clip that. That'll be a highlight of today's today's show. All right. So what I wanted to look at. Okay, so we have. I'm looking at the DB set. I just want to look at this a little bit here. So I do know I need to put this kind of code in here. Though you got to define that. That's actually good for me seeing this. What am I looking for? It's nice to look at very simple code because this helps me think this through a little bit. So when you create your context, you just create those properties. Then on there, I do so what I want to do, just trying to think if I really want this or, yeah, I think so. So yeah, they create those contexts, create those. So you'll go ahead and create this context. Let's might actually help. In my sample, I would class, call this event context. And I was thinking about this, again, this all works. I'm using an event thing for this because that's what I'm trying to build it towards. Once I actually get this working a little more, I'll probably change this sample code to be more generic. All right, so we have this, and you would normally create your context. Just okay. So this would just be as simple as this. Graph context. And then I will get an error message, which is good because I don't have a former parameter. That would make sense. So in here we can then now maybe this constructor here doesn't make sense. Why not? Because that's what they're doing. So this should probably be protected. Well, so that would make sense. No, I keep it public. Go in here, copying this. Duh. Now what's oh. You have to have proper syntax. Oh, 30. All right. Give it a couple more. I'm gonna work on this just a couple more minutes. Like I said, I have a meeting started right at 1 o'clock. Actually, I tell you what, this is definitely be a shorter stream today. Since I am presenting, I actually probably, and I have not eaten yet. Not a good thing. Eating is a good thing. Let's go ahead and save all this. EMD things get in my way. It's taking over my need to disable that. I don't know if I ever used that game. All right. Let's go ahead. I mean, this isn't a very good check-in, but let's go ahead and check things in. Right thing. And we'll that. Let's who's out there? Who could we see? Got Code Rush out there. He's streaming right now. Wow, is that really only one? What is Mark working on? I'm testing DDD spells and features in C#. That could be interesting. What up on live coder right now? Coders. Lanolux. I gotta tell you, Lanolux is like always on here. She just my developer's garage is up there. All right. What is he working on today? Local storage. All right, cool. That works. All right, so let's go ahead and my screens here. So again, I apologize for the short stream today. I say tomorrow will be more of a normal 1 hour, hour and a half stream. Actually, I'll probably go a little bit over tomorrow, just because I'll have more time tomorrow. I won't be rushing off to a 1 o'clock meeting. I might jump on a stream tonight. Kind of depends what goes on, or I might not. I might be working on some of the things. Actually, did get some information about Copalooza today. Hopefully it's good information. So hopefully I'm finally getting closer to where I can actually finish up that budget. Anyway, let's go ahead and raid Developers Garage. It is actually a good stream going on. And I hope everyone has an awesome day. There we go. All right, we'll see everyone. Thanks, everybody.
Have in place, we have Kentaco Content as our CMS. We have FaunaDB as our data store. We're using Netlify serverless functions and Twilio. We are just beginning our Vue.js grid